So we need to start by locking the inlet dephaser. So what we do is give the engine 2 full revolutions on the crank, and that should actually bring the moving part in the dephaser into the locked position. So check the dephaser is locked by gently moving the camshaft back and forth. The camshaft can move independently by as much as 35 degrees. So if need be, rotate the cam with the spanner anti-clockwise the tiny amount to lock the internals inside the dephaser. Okay, so I'm going to use the 27mm spanner and just sort of wiggle it about just to see if it's moving at all. And if so, just put it gently backwards towards yourself just to lock that into position. So we now remove the spark plugs because this eases rotation. So for that we use a 14mm specific spark plug spanner, and we just pop these out. Now cylinder 3 here, that actually hits, the valves hit the piston, and cylinder 2 here, you can see that the valve actually bent up and smashed the spark plug, which is why this engine is no good. But anyway, spark plug 1 out now. Okay. So we now need to lock the pistons at the midway position so that we can insert the crank locking key. So I'm just going to put the sort of piston height rods in, so this gives us like a visual indication of what's going on inside the engine. And now if we rotate the engine, we can actually see the position of the pistons, and then they're now at the midway position, ready to be locked with the locking pin. So we just get this locking pin out of the kit. That's what it looks like, and it should be able to just sort of pop in there with very little movement, just perhaps a little bit of a wiggle, and that should go in there. There we go. Now we'll just confirm that's locked by just very gently rotating the crank back and forth. Remember, this pin can shear, so don't put any torque onto it. It is only just a pin to hold the flywheel in position. Okay, so the next thing now is to look at the inlet camshaft angle measurements. So this is a bit of a fiddly job, and I think this is for checking how much sort of chain wear there is. So you've got to put the inclinometer on like this, zero that, and then there's the measurements at the bottom of the screen to check whether your chain needs replacing or not. And then you've basically got to hold it there very carefully at sort of 90 degrees and read off the angle, and then check whether your chain is stretched or not. Right, so we can now go on to fitting the camshaft locking tools. So here we are. So there are several tools in this set for variations of this engine, and it's a 3mm hex key just to lock the feet in position like so, and that's the crossbar and the 2 screws for the crossbar. So we just put these in. So note the curved portion of the cams is facing down, and you should be able to read the text that's on the top of the cams, because they do say, there's the text there, you can see inlet and exhaust. And you may need to just wiggle that inlet cam slightly so that you can fit the locking tool. And then we can put the screws in with an 8mm hex bit. Like so. And ideally you do need to lock that down now so that it's all nice and tight. So we also need to do another check on the timing chain, and for that we need a 27mm spanner, and just to remove the tensioner, confirm that it actually works by pushing it down, and it should actually have a dimple or an indentation on the head. So what we're now going to do is put in a dummy chain tensioner, and this way we can sort of measure presumably how much stretch is on the chain or wear. So we need to insert this and then tighten it very gently, so only 0.6 newton meters, which is sort of like finger tight. Remove it, and then we've got to use a vernier caliper and check the measurement on this. And again, this is like another check, I believe, to see if the timing chains need replacing. Okay, so let's now remove the camshaft sprockets. So we've got to remove the pad at the top, and that's an 8mm socket. And just remember that pad must always be in position when you're doing anything with the chain, otherwise you could incorrectly tension things. Now we're just going to pop this tyre lever through there just to hold the chain, stop it falling down. And then it's a female E14 Torx, and we'll just remove the bolt here. Remember, these bolts must be replaced. They're single use only, so presumably they're stretch ones. And then we can remove the inlet Dephaser. Now note, there is no keyway on this, so it's a slightly different type of setting up on this engine. So we'll just remove the exhaust sprocket now, like so. There we go. Similar scenario, no keyway on that either. Okay, so let's now remove the crankshaft bolt. So what you do need to do is actually lock the flywheel, or put the car into 5th gear and get somebody to push the brake pedal down to lock things. You can't use that locking pin, it will just shear. Okay, and then it's 18mm socket, and remove this crank bolt, which will be extremely tight. And there we are. Again, that needs to be replaced, and this seal will also need to be replaced as well. So as I withdraw this, you'll note there is no keyways again. It's all just torque and pressure that holds everything in alignment. Okay, so let's remove the timing chain assembly now. So it's a 10mm socket for the dipstick, because this actually threads through the plastic chain housing. So we just pop that out. That's what that looks like. And then it's a Torx 45 for the 2 lower bolts, and a Torx 50 for the single upper one. And when you come to refit those, it's probably worth putting a little bit of silicone grease on those rubber seals before you pop them back in. And we just do the top one now, like so. And then the whole assembly should just lift out. Now mine's actually been glued together for the video, because it all got somewhat destroyed when the engine timing went out. So, but you get the idea what's there. That sprocket would actually still be housed a bit higher up, but it is what it is for the moment. So there's our lower sprocket for the crank, and again you can see there's no keyway. It's all smooth. So just demonstrate that it can just spin there on that hub. Okay, so let's refit the timing chain assembly now. So we're going to have to clean all the surfaces so that there's absolutely no grease on anything, because this is a friction fit, so you definitely don't want anything sliding once you've fitted this all back together again. So make sure it's all well degreased, like so. So I did find this all a little bit of a shock for me, because I'm not used to this type of engine. I'd never heard of an engine that had no keyways, but that's the way it is on these later engines now. So the new assembly would be dropped in like so, and then we would be able to put our hub through. And as you can see, that's freely spinning. We'll just stop all that falling apart. Put in a new bolt, and then we would torque that to 50 Newton meters, and then we'd have to give it an angular tighten of 180 degrees. I'm not going to do that just yet, so I'm going to just put the rest of the chain assembly back together. Like I say, this video is more of a demonstration, because I can't actually repair this engine for real, so it's sort of just going through the process so that you can see what's sort of involved. So we can then put the dipstick back in, tighten that up. There we are. So now I'm doing the fake 180 degree turn just to show you that it's 180 degrees that you then tighten that bolt with. So we can now come up to the cams. So we put the sort of the bounce bracket back on, and then we can tuck the chain behind that while we put the Dephaser on and the sprocket. So again, make sure everything's absolutely degreased. You want the best possible chance nothing slips. That's exactly what happened on this engine. The exhaust cam seized and then everything started slipping and the timing went out, and then the pistons and valves all started mashing each other together, and with the end result the engine's completely destroyed. Okay, so fit that on. Now you don't want to tighten it up too much because we need to take the slack up in the chain, and with it being loose, the Dephaser and the exhaust sprocket should be able to just gradually rotate to take up the slack, because obviously the crank is now locked. So we can then pop the exhaust sprocket on. Like so. Again, don't tighten too much, just so it can move. I'll just demonstrate that. So we've got full movement there. And then we can put the dummy tensioner back in and just put the tension back onto the chain. Like that, so that's now all tight. And then we would tighten that to 20 Newton meters and a 180 degree turn on the inlet Dephaser. So that's 20, then 180 angular. Now you can use the spanner as well just to help sort of hold things. And the exhaust is 20 Newton meters plus 90 degrees. Like so. Just demonstrating there. These bolts would shear if I actually did it for real. And then we can take the dummy tensioner out and ideally put a new tensioner back in. It's probably a wise move to put a new one in. Okay, so let's remove the cam timing locking tools. So in theory that should all now be timed up. Like so. I mean, it's always worth double checking with another reference source that this procedure, just to confirm the procedure and that it hasn't been updated by Peugeot or changed. But it does give you an insight into what you need to do. So remove the locking key, and then what we'll do is just rotate the engine twice to ensure that the pistons and the valves don't make contact and that the timing is in fact correct. So we just rotate that. Everything seems to be good. So hopefully that would be the job done. Okay, so here's some talk and other information that you can pause to view for longer. And as usual, some reference photographs, which again you can pause to view for longer. Okay, so this video covered the engine timing on a Peugeot EP6 or the THP150. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe to support this channel. This video was filmed and edited by me, Mark Savage, in March 2024. Now, I can also be found on Instagram, Facebook and X as Coats and Gators.